To the rest of the Galactic Council, the Vorten were a terrifying myth. They came from Carix Prime, a planet so inhospitable it was classified as a Class 9 death world, all acid storms and apex predators the size of buildings. For centuries, they'd been the only known death world species to survive their own evolution and reach the stars. When the Council grudgingly accepted the Vorten, they did so at arm's length, better to keep Deathworlders as allies than enemies. No one else was so hardened, so merciless. Or so they believed. That illusion ended the day the Council called a Deathworlder summit on Helion Station, a gleaming orbital fortress at the edge of civilized space. The Vorten delegation arrived in jagged black ships bristling with rail cannons. Their warriors stepped out in exo-armor carved from the carapaces of Carix predators, each a mountain of muscle and scar tissue. At their head was Warlord Kavor, first of his line. A creature bred in acid storms, survivor of thousands of hunts. He expected fear. He expected awe. What he didn't expect was a human waiting at the docking bay, sipping coffee and leaning against a supply crate. Kavor's second, a six-eyed brute named Threk, growled. "Who are you, soft one?" The human, a compact woman in worn combat fatigues with an earth patch on her shoulder, glanced up, unimpressed. "Lieutenant Commander Rena Harris. Terran Diplomatic Guard." Kavor snorted. "Terran? Ah, the primitive species from your so-called death world, Earth." Harris raised an eyebrow. "You think we're primitive?" Kavor's laugh boomed through the bay. "Your council classification is Class 5 Death World. Half of Carix would eat your cities in a week." Harris just shrugged and took another sip. "Maybe. But the funny thing about humans is we build cities where we're not supposed to. Then we rebuild them when they fall." The summit was a political farce. All velvet words hiding sharpened teeth. Council species debated resource treaties, military aid, and the question everyone feared, could Deathworlders ever truly be trusted? Harris said nothing. She sat in the corner, the only human in a hall of dozens of Vorten. They mocked her size, her soft skin, the Council's foolishness for inviting vermin to the Deathworlder table. Hours passed. The words grew uglier. Then came the insult that lit the fuse. A young Vorten warrior, trying to prove himself to Kavor, leaned across the table and bared his fangs. "You humans claim Deathworld status, yet you cower behind the Council. How many of your young do you lose to predators in your cities? How many storms strip your flesh from bone?" Harris didn't flinch. She just looked him dead in the eyes. "How many children did you lose to acid storms last year?" The Vorten warrior snarled. Kavor gestured for silence, amusement flickering behind his reptilian gaze. "Answer the Terran," he ordered. 15,000, the warrior spat. Harris tilted her head. "We lose 20,000 a year. Not to storms. To each other." The room fell quiet. The Vorten's growl died in his throat. Kavor leaned forward. "Explain." Harris set her mug down. "You think we're soft because our predators aren't 50 tons of teeth. But our predators are each other. Our storms are wars. Our acid rain is fallout. Your Deathworld is a single planet. Ours is our species." She pulled a battered tablet from her belt and tossed it across the table. It spun, landing in front of Kavor. Images flickered, Earth's history in flashes, trenches in the mud, mushroom clouds rising into black skies, burning cities rebuilt from rubble. Kavor's claws clicked on the table. "You thrive in constant conflict. You kill your own young. Yet you rise again." Harris stood. She was smaller than any Vorten in the room, but her voice carried the weight of 10 billion ghosts. "You thought you were the only Deathworlders. You're not. We learned long ago that the deadliest predators aren't the ones with claws, they're the ones who build. Who adapt. Who refuse to stay dead." For the first time in generations, the Vorten were silent. They looked at the human not as prey, but as kin. A different breed of Deathworlder. One that built its own storms, survived its own predators, and came back stronger every time. Kavor rose, crossing the hall until he loomed over Harris. He extended a massive, scarred hand. She took it without hesitation. "Next time we hunt," Kavor rumbled, "we hunt together." And so the galaxy learned a lesson it would never forget. The Vorten were Deathworlders by birthright. But humans? Humans earned it every single day, not from the world they came from, but from the monsters they made of themselves. And that made them the most dangerous Deathworlders of all.